Hi, everybody. I am back from Canada. I survived. I made it through customs. I will tell you, get your story straight before you go through customs. um, I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, they're going to think I'm crazy. How do you explain where you're going, a woo conference? So I said I was going for leisure, not work. But when you go through, there's these machines, and then you have to go talk to a human. And he was like, "Why are you going through?" And I was like, "Oh, to for my friend's birthday," which is true. It was Jenny's birthday. And then he was like, "Why are you carrying that big poster?" And I was like, "It's a present. It's for a surprise party." So I was like, "I'm not your story straight when you go through. It's always better to tell the truth. I'm just a terrible liar." So anyway, it was terrible. But I had a great time. I have a few pictures. I put together a video, and then, I always get in trouble for like the song thing, and I couldn't get a right song, so there's no music on it. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of like play it in the background while I talk to you guys. But if you have any questions, put them in the chat. It was so much fun. It really wasn't that cold. I got there like, I don't know, I can't remember what time it was, but like around 5 or dinnerish. Um, and getting to the hotel, like I didn't know anybody, but a couple people recognized me at the check-in, which was so nice because there was these super sweet ladies there. And then my name wasn't on the room, Jenny's name was on the room, so I couldn't check in. So I went over to the bar. Um, and apparently some Canadians don't like Americans. I didn't know that. And apparently Canadians are like super polite and they think Americans are rude. And I didn't know that either. Um, so it was very interesting to me to find some things out. Um, and then I was just sitting there, and they took away all the American liquor. So I Okay, I think I'm back. I had to join, my internet went out at my house, but I joined by my phone. So hopefully, hopefully you guys can see me. Can you guys see me? Bye bye bye. Thanks, Jim. Um, yeah, that was the other weird thing. On the way back, I was flying back, and like I'm just looking through my phone. I was looking at photos and like deleting bad photos and whatever. And all of a sudden, a thing came up, which my husband bought me a new phone right before I went, so I'd have good camera and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm flying back, and on my like second leg back, so I'm already in the US because I'd come through Chicago, and a thing pops up and it says, uh, let others know where you are in an emergency or something like that. And it says, connect to satellite for Welcome home. Yes, was what saying it needs to connect to a satellite. Anyway, sorry guys. Oh, okay. Anyway, it was really weird. So it was on my phone. It was trying to it was like trying to get me to connect to a satellite. So it was crazy. I don't know if that's a new thing, but we've been kind of expecting that. Like I kind of thought like one day when the EBS comes, then we've all got maybe access to Starlink or something. Maybe that'll be the way we get untrapped. Yeah, Polly Starlink. Exactly. Um, anyway, I missed you guys. Feels like forever since I talked to all my friends. Um, Dave Matthews starts playing. Yeah, Westwood, you're right. Um, so, so we got there, um, and and then I'm sitting there. There's this beautiful lady sitting next to me. Like I kind of just keeping to myself on my phone. Jenny had missed her first flight, and so and those of you that we've traveled with Jenny before know that that happens sometimes. She may pop in here in a little bit. I'm not sure, but and then I hear this big, like deep voice, and I'm like, I know that voice. I look over. Andy Scheckman and his beautiful wife, Shauna, have been sitting next to me for a good 20, 30 minutes. And I just didn't notice. And so then we start chatting. I'm so excited. And then Bix and Amy show up. Oh no, maybe Jenny showed up next. And then we had dinner. Then I think Bix and Amy came. Um, and Jenny was like wiped out. She went to bed. Bix and Amy stayed down and we all had a drink. Um, it was crazy. So yeah, I missed you guys too. It feels like forever, even though it like wasn't even a whole week, but it was the like it was mostly a week, I guess, but it was the weekend part. And that's where we all kind of hang out together. So it felt like a long time. Um, but there were really good workshops and they had really good information. It was cool though how we all were on the same, even though everyone prepped for their messages separately, of course. And but when we all got there, everybody was kind of talking about the same thing. It was so crazy. um, like my message, which I'll be able to share with you guys. I think Jean-Claude's going to send me a link and I'll be able to at least post it on my Patreon if I can't share it publicly. And then I'll break it down for you guys and share what I was going to talk about anyway publicly because it's my message. But so I was talking about why cryptocurrency, what is crypto and why. And I talked about kind of how I got into it, of course, with mom, and then giving us when we got married. And then talked about, the debt slavery system and all that. And then I talked about how we're moving into this merit-based system, how, on January 21st, Trump made this presidential action. And then I went into the history of money and how, silver was pulled out of money in 1873, the Crime Act, the Coinage Act, which is funny because Bix talked about that. And then um, they talked about how they closed the gold window in the 70s. And meanwhile, they keep getting people to put their energy into money. Well, think about even before then, they only created, the constitutional act of uh, using gold and silver, setting gold and silver, the 0.3371 or whatever of silver and however much gold as the constitutional dollar, was because they needed a number to stick in as a pin so that people could say, well, how much should are my eggs worth? How much is my tomatoes worth? So people could barter and trade. It's not that gold and silver necessarily, I mean, they have value, but it's that people needed something to put a pin in it so that they could kind of say, okay, well, just set a standard, um, because we bring the value. We bring the value to money. Money is a store of value to be used later to barter and trade. And so we kind of all ended up at the same place with this whole, and then it's so crazy because here's the other crazy thing. So then Janine's sitting there pulling cards and talking with JC in one of their breakout sessions. And she does this financial tower thing, and she says 5 weeks. She says 5 weeks, days, or months. Well, of course, I get out my calendar and I'm counting down, and Trump's merit plan gives a 90-day window, and that goes to April 21st or 2nd. I think it goes to April 21st, and that is the end of, like, they got to get their, that's when we're all in on the merit based, which those of you that study common law know that's like equity, where you stand in equity with somebody, that you're exchanging peer to peer, you're in equity, you do the same deal. If it's good for them, it's good for you, to stand in equity with somebody, and do a swap, whatever. And so all of this is lining up, like we're all talking the same talk. Then Penny Kelly wraps up the end of this speech. Well, Jay Widener does his talk on plasma. All of that lines up. Then Penny Kelly, the end of the weekend, does her talk, and she's the keynote speaker. And she says all this stuff about basically aliens and stuff. But anyway, we'll talk about all that later. But she says like that we're moving. Okay, first, when Jay Widener was speaking, he took questions. Okay, I'm a huge, like, I geek out about Jay Widener, like, and the whole table knows it. And so they're making fun of me. They're like, Lisa, ask him a question, ask him a question. I'm like, I'm too nervous. And I went and said hi to him in the lobby, and I'm like, hi, I'm Lisa. I emailed with you a couple times with Uncle Cliff, and because I've been on a couple emails with him with Cliff and Bix and a couple people, and he's like, hi, nice to meet you, super gentleman. And so I'm all nervous. I'm like, so I was just curious if you think that it's possible with the plasma, because I'm thinking about where what I've learned with talking with IM and how we can jump. They were doing these jumping dimensions with the plasma balls and all that. And so I've been trying to explain that. And I was like, do you think it's possible we could jump a dimension since we're in this 4D prison? Could they use the plasma balls to jump a dimension and escape the 4D prison and get into the 5D, and but maintain our point of identity or whatever? I don't even know what I said. I was so nervous. And he goes, no, we're in the 3D. And I was like, crushed. But then Penny Kelly got up and spoke the next day, and in her slide, she had two slides that I resonated with. She had one about money and one about time. And she said that we're in the 4D and we have to move to the 5D. So she confirmed that. And then she said, yes, that last Avatar guy. Yeah, Polly. He also does a Kubrick, and he did the JFK X movie and all that. He's brilliant, super brilliant. I'm sure I was so nervous. I just didn't ask the question the right way. It was, I'm sure, my fault. But then Penny Kelly also said she was talking about merit and how we aren't going to use money because we're exchanging energy with each other. And I was like, and Amy's looking back at me and smiling, and Bix looks back at me and just rolls his eyes. It was so great. It was so great, you guys. It was just like the whole weekend was just amazing. It was so good. It was all so good. I was supposed to be playing the video the whole time. Share screen. Sorry. how was I doing this? Share window. How do I do this? Oh, I wanted it to do like the big screen. There we go. The woo beginning. This was me at the airport. And there's me and Jaja and Andy, his beautiful wife. There's Jenny and I having dinner the first night when she got in so late. There's where I got to meet Penny Kelly. She's adorable. She's so sweet. This was like Parliament out of our hotel room. That's when they did Jenny and I's hair and makeup for all the promos and stuff for Jean-Claude. This was a conference center. That's my new banner, which I just found out the QR code that I paid for at the bottom. I have to pay for some stupid subscription because it's locked up now. This was in the like meet and greet room. So Jenny and I shared a table, and then they had a table. There's Jean-Claude talking to everybody. Andy talking about, it's funny, Andy talked about silver and Bix talked about gold this time. There's me and Coco. She's adorable. DJ Meg Moonbeam. This was day one at the conference. I forgot to take enough pictures. I didn't take enough pictures every. Don't talk to strippers. Bix and Amy took me to brunch, and Jenny and I goofing around. I got to see Ken from C60 as well. And there were some other fun people there. There's Bix teaching about old Nasty Rockefeller. And he did a great, everyone loved his happy hour. He did all the fun songs, and Amy and I were his little fan club there. And Andy and Bix and Jenny. There is Mr. Jay Widener. And Janine came over and sat with me for a bit. She was a doll. There's me and Jenny going out to cause some trouble. And this, I tried to take a longer video of from our room. It was really cool to see. In Canada, there were like as many Canadian flags as like there were in America, American flags. It was so nice. Yeah. So it was nice to see, they're very patriotic, and it's nice to see people loving their country. And I think just like Americans, we love the people, not the government so much, but we love our country the way they love their country. So that's sweet. Hey, Ocean View, thanks for joining us. And there I tried to, at the end, kind of zoom in on Parliament. The architecture is really beautiful there. They have, that French influence. And it's funny because they have like the Queen on their dollar. They speak the English Queen on their dollar. They speak French, but they say they're Canadian. Like, it's like, there's a lot of different cultures going on there, and a lot of Muslim influence that's come into the country. A lot. And those were 2 slides that Penny Kelly had at the end of her message. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So it was a great event, and I think they're doing another one coming up in October is the rumor. I did get to hang out with Ken from C60, and he shared with me some of their new skincare, an eye cream and a skin serum. So I'm going to start using those, and either he's going to come on or he's going to have somebody. He said he may send somebody, but he's like, oh, I like talking to you, I might come on. He's just a great guy with good energy and good products, of course. And I got to know Dorothy and Roger from Pure Bulk, and I actually spent a lot of time with them at the airport. We were stuck there together for 5 hours at the end, and we actually got to know a lot about each other's families and have some really amazing commonalities about adoption and stuff. Then if they want to share their stories, that's up to them. I don't want to share too much of their personal stories, but they're just an amazing, amazing couple. And I'm really thankful I got to know them better and have that time with them. And so I don't know, it's just kind of, I'm really grateful for the experience. I'm thankful that Jean-Claude invited me to be a part of that and that I got to share my story. There were so many people that I got to meet at the event. Miss Shirley, Indian Princess Shirley, I am grateful for you. She was so kind to me and she helped me. She's a seamstress, and I had a little faux pas with one of my dresses, and she helped me, and I was very grateful. And she's a beautiful lady, and she just had this sweet, sweet spirit. She had the most beautiful jacket that she made herself from a child's, like a baby Indian blanket, and she made it into a jacket. And it was gorgeous. And she was there with her sister, and oh gosh, there were so many people there. Kirk, that's on my Patreon, was there. So that was so nice to meet a Patreon supporter. And oh gosh, there were so many people there. Oh gosh, I knew I was going to forget his name, but it starts with an I, that I met and then saw him again at the airport. Oh man, I'll think of it later. But there were lots of great people, lots of women there. Any of you men looking to meet nice women with open minds, you need to go to one of these things, because tons of amazing women there. It was really cool. How was the Charlie Ward? There weren't any Charlie Ward people there. I don't know what you're talking about. Is passport? Yes. Oh wait, no passport need? Yeah, there was a passport needed. Or you're talking about going to JC? Hold on, I gotta get my glasses out, Paulette. I can't read what you're saying. So does JC plan an American tour? Yes, they're doing. They're planning on doing one in Florida in October. It's not official, so I don't want to make like an announcement or anything because it's not up to me. But those are just rumors that I heard. So, but Westwood, you're stuck in 2D. Let's see. Any questions, you guys, while I'm on here? I just wanted to pop in here and say hi because I missed all of you, and wanted to show you some pictures and share my experience. So I think the latest news I heard was that they did release the JFK files, but it's so vast that that it would, it'll take forever. I tried asking Grok about it, and it basically said that it's so big that nothing's really come out yet, and that it doesn't seem to have any glaring conspiracy theories, that they're still pointing at like Harvey Lee Oswald and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of, oh, well, I would love to. That's a great reason to wrap this up. I miss all you guys, so I'm going to jump on Taco Tuesday. And in about 3 minutes, Jim, what did you just say? Oh, I was at the conference, so I really didn't bump into Canadian people other than the ones that attended, and they were very aware of what was going on, kind, loving, and ready to take on, move into the 5D with all of us. So I'll see you guys. If you are on this, make sure you're following Clint Westwood and me at Lisa Mighty Davis. Follow Benny at Warrior32, and we'll see you guys all on Taco Tuesday on Twitter. Love to you all, and thank you guys all for supporting me and all I do. I want to bring you guys great content, information, and help us all break out of this matrix. So I'll see you all soon. Thanks.